What if I told you that the most powerful man in a country of 90 million people was never elected by a single voter? No ballot, no campaign, no popular vote. He commands the army. He controls the courts. He shapes foreign policy. With a single word, he can override the president and the parliament. And his authority does not come from the people. It comes from God. When we hear the word Ayatollah, we think of Iran. We think of religious authority and political tension. But behind that title lies a story that began over 14 centuries ago, a succession crisis that divided a civilization and reshaped the Islamic world forever. Today, we uncover how theology became government, how a religious scholar came to stand above presidents, and how a mystery about a man who vanished 1,000 years ago is still believed to be ruling today. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe to History Beyond Battle. We tell the stories that explain why the world looks the way it does today. Leave a comment below. Which topic should we cover next? All right, let's go. What happens when the most influential man in a civilization dies and leaves no clear political blueprint behind? In the year 632, the Arabian Peninsula stood at a turning point. Muhammad had united warring tribes into a powerful religious force. But when he died, an unsettling uncertainty lingered. Who would lead? Two visions emerged. One group believed leadership should be chosen through consultation. They chose Abu Bakr, a close companion, as the first caliph, or successor. This group would eventually become the Sunni majority. But another group saw leadership as sacred, not administrative. They believed authority must remain within the Prophet's family, specifically through Ali, his cousin and son-in-law. They became the Party of Ali, Shiite Ali. Over time, this evolved into Shiite Islam. What started as a dispute over succession hardened into a deep theological divide. Today, Shiites represent roughly 15% of Muslims worldwide, forming majorities in Iran and Iraq. But for Shiites, leadership didn't end with Ali. It followed a sacred lineage that gave birth to one of the most powerful concepts in history, the Imams. What if your rightful leader never died? What if he simply vanished? For Shiites, an Imam is not elected. He is divinely guided, possessing the unique ability to interpret God's will. While various branches emerged, the dominant group became the Twelvers. They believed there were 12 legitimate Imams. The 12th, Muhammad al-Mahdi, was born in the 9th century, but he did not die publicly. He disappeared. This is known as the Occultation. For over 1,000 years, Twelver Shiites have believed their Imam is alive but concealed by divine will. He will return at the end of time to restore justice. But who leads in the meantime? This vacuum forced the community to evolve. In the Imam's absence, scholars, experts in Islamic law, assumed responsibility as guardians of the faith. They didn't claim to be the Imam, but they acted in his shadow. From the seminaries of Najaf and Qom, a powerful clerical structure took shape, and at its summit, a new title emerged, Ayatollah. Ayatollah means sign of God. It is an acknowledgement that a scholar's understanding of Islamic law is so profound that others may follow his interpretations. For centuries, Ayatollahs were moral authorities, not rulers. But in 20th century Iran, everything changed. The ruling Pahlavi dynasty attempted to forcibly secularize the country. They sidelined religious schools and even banned the veil. While Tehran modernized, dissatisfaction simmered among those who saw these reforms as an attack on Islamic identity. Among the exiled critics was a cleric named Ruhollah Khomeini. He asked a radical question: if the Imam is hidden, who has the right to govern? Khomeini argued that guidance wasn't enough. He proposed the doctrine of Velayat-e-Faqih, the guardianship of the jurist. He believed the most qualified religious scholars had a divine obligation to rule the state. By 1979, the Iranian monarchy collapsed. Amidst the chaos of the revolution, Khomeini's organized clerical network seized the moment. Iran was declared an Islamic republic, and Khomeini's doctrine was written into the constitution. This created a position unique in the modern world: the supreme leader. The supreme leader is not chosen by the people, but by an assembly of experts, all clerics. He serves for life. He commands the military, appoints the head of the judiciary, and can override the president. When Khomeini died in 1989, he was succeeded by Ali Khamenei. The structure remained. In Iran, religious scholarship had become the ultimate constitutional authority. But the authority of the Ayatollah does not stop at the borders of Iran. When Ruhollah Khomeini established the Islamic Republic, he didn't just intend to change a country. He intended to inspire a hemisphere. This is the concept of exporting the revolution. For the first time in modern history, a religious ideology had successfully toppled a Western-backed monarchy. To the disenfranchised Shiite communities across the Middle East, in Lebanon, Iraq, and the Gulf states, the rise of the Ayatollah was a lightning bolt. It suggested that faith, organized under clerical leadership, could challenge any superpower. This vision gave birth to what analysts now call the Shiite Crescent. From the Mediterranean coast of Lebanon to the mountains of Yemen, the influence of the supreme leader is felt through a network of alliances and proxy groups. In Lebanon, Hezbollah, the Party of God, was forged in the image of the Iranian Revolution, viewing the Ayatollah not just as a political ally, but as a spiritual reference point, or Marja. Can a system like this be called a democracy? Iran holds elections, but they exist within strict boundaries. A guardian council vets every candidate and reviews every law to ensure they align with Islamic principles. The result is a hybrid, a state that blends republican institutions with religious guardianship. To understand the Ayatollah is to understand that for millions, politics is not merely pragmatic, it is sacred. The story of the Ayatollah is a 1,400-year journey from a desert succession crisis to a modern nuclear power. It reminds us that ideas about divine authority can crystallize into powerful, lasting institutions. When power is rooted in faith, authority takes on a dimension that extends far beyond the ballot box. Thank you for watching. If you found this deep dive valuable, subscribe to History Beyond Battle. We'll see.